guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm covering 90 Day Fiance season 7 episode 2. What I really liked about this episode was that I still are getting to know the first batch of couples. I really appreciated that because we're gonna have to know so many couple stories, and it's nice to kind of take it bit by bit. So based on what I did last week, I'm just gonna go over the same couples in the same order. So with that being said, let's start off with Anna and Marcel. So Marcel and Anna got to spend like a little bit of alone time, but now it's time for him to go and meet the family. I don't know. I feel like for Anna, you couldn't tell me that she had conversations with her kids about what was going to happen and how their lives were going to change. Because I feel like the kids seem like this was really pushed in their face and they kind of had to deal with it. And I feel like she never prepared them to even like get them up to date with Turkish greetings. I don't appreciate that her older son is saying that he's not gonna kind of have respect for him and stuff like that. Like, he's not trying to be your father, he's not trying to run the house. Like, he just wants to get to know you guys, and like, you should show respect. Marcel, you're in America, there's things that are different there than Turkey. You don't need to be referencing everything's better in Turkey. It's a little offensive if the people in America are trying to make your stay very, very good for you to be like, oh, this pizza here is it's not like Turkey's one. Like, you're gonna have different things. So I just feel like Anna, sorry, I don't know if I called her Annie, but Anna hasn't really educated herself on the new changes her family was going to face. So then she ends up going to meet her mom and her son with Marcel. They're going to have dinner or lunch, whatever. And because her mom wants to obviously meet him. Her mom has those weird American I've never left the country beliefs when it comes to Muslim people, and I don't know why your biggest factor isn't whether your grandchildren would get to like him or can he really step up to the plate. It's he's Muslim. Like, I'm sure they both knew that, and they still decided to be together. As you can tell, religion, anything else you can think of, does not triumph love, and they love each other, or they say they do. So I didn't appreciate how she was just like, oh, like, is he gonna throw stones at her? Like, is he gonna go in the parking lot, pick up and throw stones? Like, what is he, 5 years old? Like, no. And I felt so bad for him when he was just like, no, I wouldn't do that, I love her. And so also, the big bombshell is she finds out that Marcel has not told his family because he believes his family would be involved and kind of get in the middle of their love. And then they ask, like, would you be willing to leave if your family said, I guess, to go back to them? And he said yes, or something like that. Either way, I'm not surprised. Like, this is one thing if I was with you 24/7, I know you inside and out, but we can barely communicate. So I think he likes his family a little bit more than your family, and he'd more go back to his family. Anyways, next couple is Michael and Juliana. There really wasn't much with them. He finally went to go see her. They met up in Rio de Janeiro to take, I don't think he did, but she took the K1 interview. She seems like a very nice, humble girl that knows how to spend money. Michael, she used your money to buy a car to leave for her family. She didn't know, she didn't think that, oh, you know, I'm leaving soon, so might as well just take out money to get a car. She left that for her family. She's making sure her family's well off before she leaves. Them waiting for the process, her kind of realizing that she's not his number one priority and that he can't just pick up and leave and go to another country. I can see why they've been kind of iffy with granting her a visa, but you know, it is what it is. She seems very humble, and so far I've taken a liking to her, and she seems like she's like one of the more realistic folks on the show, and she kind of understands the consequences and understands that if this doesn't happen, they might not be able to be together. So yeah, with that being said, let's go to our next couple. So Tanya and Sinjin. So Tanya, I felt like, was doing the most this episode. I kept asking myself, like, wait, why are her friends there? Why are her friends there? Because I'm like, if my friend's gonna go see her man that she hasn't seen in a while, and not in a very long while, I'd want to give them alone time. Even if I were to just drive her or drop her off somewhere and leave, I wouldn't hang around. I found it really weird that her friends were hanging around. So you could tell she's a planner, and she planned to have rose petals, which it was really funny when they're dropping the rose petal and the guy's sweeping up, and they're like, no, don't sweep it. And he's like, my boss says it doesn't look good. I gotta start sweeping this stuff up. A bottle of champagne and roses, got the greeting ready. He was able to meet her eventually, and it was very beautiful, very loving. And then she brought him to the hotel, which she asked her friends to give them 2 hours, which I don't even think that's enough time. I can just lie down there for 30 minutes and do nothing, much less go have sex, or no, take a shower, have sex, then take another shower and get ready so you don't look like you've had sex. And like, even just going into the hotel room after them, I'd be like, I'd feel some type of way. But they in the hotel room, she's showing him what she's done for him. He's very excited. He's kissing, hugging her. And then it's kind of weird because her friends are like, hey, hanging around. And I'm just like, can you guys go? Like, you guys are not getting the clue? Well, it seems like me and Sinjin are on the same page, because he's kind of asking her, like, so I thought this was going to be like a me and you thing. Why are your friends here? So, yeah, I don't know what happened with that. She takes him to Times Square, and she has another surprise for him. She created a banner for him that says, like, thank you, kind of like for flying halfway around the world to be with me, blah blah, which was cute but also unnecessary as well. It was like over the top. I felt like she wanted like every little thing to be perfect, and I feel like he's not a hard man to please. Like, you could have just like give him a flower and he'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing. But so far so good. He seems like he's very excited there, and I can't wait to see what else happens with them. So next we have Emily and Sasha. So there really wasn't much for them. Emily wanted to meet Sasha's first wife, I don't remember her name, in order to get her permission to have Daniel, his oldest son, come visit them in America. So I don't know why she's decided to do this now when she's 9 months. Like, you had all the time in the world to do this. 4 months, 5, 6, 7. You wait until you're 9 months, almost due to give birth, to say, oh, I want to meet your baby mom to see if it's cool, like, but I feel like she's not all there either. So I like that Sasha was explaining why he left each wife, of just like, oh, you know, this happened, we're young and dumb, or it was too much fighting, or she was an evil woman. But his ex-wife's recollection of him leaving her was for another woman. And at first I was just like, maybe I'm judging him too quickly. But while he got a divorce with his second wife, he was friends with Emily. So I'm just like, I was just kind of like, so I feel like what his wife was saying when she was bringing up, like, he's kind of selfish, he only wants to go to America for himself, and he is trash. I think she was telling the truth. Because I don't know. After they revealed that they were talking while he was getting a divorce, I kind of giving him the side eye now. So she meets the ex-wife. It was no bad blood. Asked really normal questions of, do you give Daniel permission to come to America? And she eventually just said yes, if he wants to go. She was asking, like, why don't you stay? And he was like, oh, I can do better there. It's good for us to leave. The mom's just scared that, like, no one will care for him like she cares for him, because that's not their family. And she's trying to reassure her, like, yes, that's the case. And then I don't know, I guess she was feeling some contraction or something, because she's just like, okay, let me go take a walk. I didn't appreciate how his ex-wife was like all of a sudden touching up his arm, like, oh, you know, Daniel, I mean, Sasha this. But Sasha's going to America. It is what it is. So last but not least, we have, let me just make sure I get his name, Robert and Annie. So Robert picks Annie up from the airport. Oh, well, sorry. I skipped a lot. He meets his friend who's also from the Dominican. Sorry, I never know any of these side characters' names. And his friend kind of tells him, I know Dominican women, and she's after your money. She's after the green card, blah, 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 ray. I'm like, if you're willing to talk about your people in such a bad way, I don't know if I would trust you like that. I do think that his situation is crazy, and at the end of the day, I think he's just looking for a mother for his child. It's almost like he's looking for some kind of like babysitter, nanny, maid combo. He's looking to pass his kid off to like some kind of mother figure, because the way he was talking of like, oh, I'll spend the rest of my life with her, I can't wait until she meets, and I'm just like, sir, you gotta get to know these women before you introduce them to your kids. 8 hours is not enough. Like, I don't know, were you too cheap to go and take a vacation down there? Why you took a cruise versus a vacation? 8 hours is not enough to see whether you want to marry someone, but if that's what you want to do, so be it. But I don't think your son needs to get involved this early on. Plus, your son hasn't gotten to know this person, but this person is going to be all of a sudden living with them full time and taking care of some of the adult responsibilities in the house. Bryson seems like he had too much sugar in his system. He was flying off the walls. He was getting all crazy. He didn't want to sleep. He didn't want to lie down. I thought his reaction to Annie was very, very nice. He wasn't very like closed off or like, no, this is my dad type of thing. he was very welcoming, but he's playing around. He's putting him to bed. Robert's putting him to bed, and obviously I knew he was not gonna go to sleep with the camera crew there. He can hear people talking. It's probably not even quiet. So he keeps making up noises. Well, Annie's seeing like, oh. And I feel like because she's not a mother, nor has she been around kids on a 24/7 basis, she's gonna be pushed into stepmomhood. And I don't think she's ready for that. You don't just spring a child on somebody. So you can kind of tell she was like, oh my god, he's like, he's moving around a lot. And like someone who has a kid or is used to being around kids know that's normal kid behavior. That's him running off the walls like, that's cool. So she has to really get used to that. What else was I gonna say? So she also finds out that she will have to sleep in the bed with them, which that's a big no-no for her because she wanted lots of sex. When she's finding out that she ain't gonna have it because Bryson's in bed with them. I feel like, don't these couples communicate as to like what's my living conditions? It's one thing if I'm going to visit somewhere. I might not ask very, very specific detailed questions, but if I'm gonna pick up my life to move somewhere where I have no friends, no family, and no resources, you're damn right that I'm going to ask about, so where are we living? Are we living in a house? Are we living in an apartment? Who's gonna be in the place? How much bedrooms? I don't understand. So episode was still good. We haven't seen like main problems, but so far these couples don't have me pulling out my hair, which is a good thing at this point. It better get juicier in the middle, but at this point I'm okay with knowing what I know. So with that being said, that's the end of my recap of 90 Day Fiance, season 7, episode 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it in.